Hey everybody, welcome back to the Seasoned Vegan. Today I have something very easy, very quick to make, super simple. This is tzatziki, and I'm going to be showing you how to make it two different ways. One is a bit more high protein than the other, but both are absolutely delicious. So we have one that looks a bit more green and one that looks more white. So we have a tofu based one and then a yogurt based one. Then yeah, let's get into the ingredients so I can teach you how to make both of them. They pretty much have the exact same ingredients other than the base, which is going to be, either tofu or coconut yogurt. So let's get straight into it. We're going to need some apple cider vinegar, some water, salt. We have a cucumber there. We've got some fresh dill, lemons, and garlic. Both recipes are going to have those things, except for the water. For the coconut one, we don't use water, but I'm going to explain that later. And then here are our bases. We have an unsweetened plain coconut yogurt, and then silken tofu, an extra firm. It doesn't need to be extra firm, but that's just what I had on hand. It does need to be silken because that will make it extra smooth and rich and delicious. So as for what we're going to need to cook it up, we're going to need a grater. I guess not cook, huh? We're going to need a grater and a high-powered blender. I guess that would be tools to prepare it rather than cook. All right, so let's just start with steps 1 through 7 because those are going to be the same for both tzatziki sauces, and then we will be repeating steps 8 through 10 for either yogurt. I hope that makes sense. Or either sauce, not yogurt, either tzatziki sauce. So the easiest way that I have found to handle my garlic is to just crush it. So I just use my big like stone press and I just crush it up. So there we go. And I am going to be splitting everything up into 2 different batches since we're making 2 types of tzatziki. I'm going to have one for my tofu based one, like one pile of ingredients for my tofu based one, and then one pile of ingredients for the yogurt based one. So that's why I'm separating it, just so that it makes sense for everybody. Next step, we're going to clean and prep the dill. So I gave it a really nice wash. And then what I like to do is just by hand kind of remove any of the leaves from the stems. It's just easier that way. And I love working with herbs. They smell so good, so I don't mind getting my hands involved. All right, here we go. I'm just kind of splitting that up. One for the tofu-based one and one pile for the yogurt-based one. There we go. Dill is so pretty. Look at it. I love it. So there we go. Let's move on to the next step, which is getting our lemon juice prepped. And all of the ingredients for the coconut-based tzatziki and for the tofu-based tzatziki will be in the description below because they are slightly different, but pretty much the same. And I'll let you guys know which one I preferred at the end when I talk about them. For now, let's just keep prepping everything. We've got our lemon juice. There we go. And next, we're going to get our apple cider vinegar ready. And I always like to give my apple cider vinegar a nice, shake. Get everything kind of incorporated. There we go. Because a lot of the stuff will kind of go to the bottom. And I like to just make sure it's all mixed up. So here we go. Not much apple cider vinegar. Just 1 teaspoon. I think that's a teaspoon. That might even be half a teaspoon. I'm not sure. You'll have to check the description. But here we go. Now we're going to get into the salt. Salt for both. So here we go. Easy peasy. Boom. There's our salt. Okay. So last but not least, we're going to prep our cucumber, and I like to peel my cucumber first. That's just personal preference, but you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. And then after we peel it, we're going to give it a nice grate. And we're going to grate the whole thing because we'll be using half for each sauce. So there we go. And when you grate a cucumber, you really do realize how much water is in them. They are full of water. So there we go. There's all of our cucumber. I didn't split this one in half, but I will be splitting it in half later on. So there we go, there it is. So that's pretty much everything prepped. Now let's begin with our tofu tzatziki first, and we'll do the coconut yogurt next. And we have to remember to split this cucumber because I didn't already split it. So here we go. We're basically adding absolutely everything to the blender. Well, I shouldn't say absolutely everything because it's not. We're adding everything except the cucumber to the blender. We don't want the cucumber to be blended in. We just want to add the cucumber to the tzatziki sauce after. So here we go. We're going to put in our tofu, our apple cider vinegar, our salt, our garlic cloves, and our I'm forgetting, lemon juice. That's what it is. Lemon juice. And I do want to give you one tip, and it's not something that I did, but I do want to suggest to leave your dill out until the end, because you're going to see I put my dill in a little too early for my tofu-based sauce, and it did turn green. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, it tastes the same. It just looks green. So if I were you, and I do show you the correct way to do it with the yogurt-based tzatziki, but if you don't want it to be green and you want it to be white, then add the dill last and then pulse it and then take it out and mix in your cucumber, which is what we're doing here. We're going to mix in about half of this cucumber, and that's that. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks really good green, and it did help me distinguish which was which. It was easy for me to be like, oh yeah, the green one has the tofu. But yeah, if you don't want it to be green, you know what to do now. So here we go. You guys, that's it. That's the tofu-based tzatziki done. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Silky and smooth, perfectly flavored and seasoned. Awesome. So now what I like to do is just store it in a glass container with a lid on it and put it in the fridge, and it'll last for about a week. And I just use this to snack on pita pockets and falafel and salads, all that kind of thing. So that's that. Now we're going to move into the second one, which is our coconut-based one. And it's pretty much the same, except you do not want to add any water. I did accidentally add water in the beginning, which was a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. So mine turned out a little more watery than yours will, because you're going to do it the right way. You have my advice now. So yes, I ended up having to put a little extra coconut yogurt to make it to get it to the thickness that I wanted. But the correct measurements will be in the description below so that you don't make the same mistakes that I do. Anyway, we're going to put in the coconut yogurt and all of the other ingredients. That means the lemon juice, the garlic, the salt, and the apple cider vinegar. We're going to take it over to the blender and give it a really, really good blend. Then we're going to add in the dill. Just give it a light pulse. And then we'll mix in our cucumber. I did forget to show myself mixing in the cucumber, but you get the idea. Very basic. And when I say pulse, I mean like a second or two. There we go. That should be about it. A little pulse. And then it's white. It's as it should be. Much better. See? There we go. And I did add a little bit of extra yogurt to that just to get it a bit more thick. But there it is. There it is. We have our tofu-based tzatziki and our yogurt-based tzatziki. So, which one did I like better? Well, in my opinion, I preferred the tofu tzatziki because it was thicker, it was richer, I thought it was a bit more creamy, and it was just better to dip things in, I thought. But you go ahead and try both, see what you like. I also really did like that the yogurt, or the tofu-based one, has more more protein content in it. So that just makes me feel better about using it as a dip. So I went ahead and I made myself some falafel to enjoy it with. I made some extra hummus, and it was so good. And I'll be showing you guys how to make this falafel later on this week, so stay tuned for that. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.